Good evening and welcome to one of our weekly updates on our various projects, and this week we're going to have a little look at the Homewood Valley Railway because I've done a little bit more to it. What we specifically wanted to show this week as well is that although you've got a small layout, you don't necessarily have to run small locos on it. And so we're doing quite a few things this week. So the first shot here is showing you our fiddle yard in use, which shows you what a useful thing a fiddle yard is. And then what we're going to do is show you some of our largest locos running around the layout. Now, there's a couple of things to think about here. The whole idea of this is that if you haven't got much room, it's better to have a small layout than no layout. So when people look at this and say, well, this isn't accurate, that isn't accurate, I know that, but that's the space, and many people, I suspect, are the same, that they've got. What I want to show tonight is that doesn't mean you've only got to run 040 and 060 locos on it. So that if you've got a bit of a loco collection, even if you've only got a small space, you can still have some large locos running. So enough talk, and let's show some locos running. So the first loco we're going to run is probably one of the largest locos, which is the diesel class 66. It's a recent acquisition of ours, and that's pulling a rail freight train. So as you can see, this 26 goes around quite happily, obviously because it's a Coco loco, but 66. It's 66, but it's first radius track. The only thing to watch is clearances with things like walls and platforms, but you can see that goes around quite well. It doesn't look too out of place if you run it slow enough, and if you haven't got much room and you've got some big locos, there's a good example of what you can run around even a small layout. So now we'll show you a couple more. So here you have something unusual which you probably didn't expect to see running on a small layout, and this is an Evening Star, one of the largest steam locomotives, pulling a coal train through the urban station and off onto the main line. So there's something you probably didn't expect to see, which is an Evening Star, which is a 250 very long wheel base steam locomotive going around a first radius circle. Now that is the slightly older Hornby trying model, but that's still much bigger than most locos, steam locos, that you would expect to be going around a first radius circle. It's one of our favourite locos, one of the first ones we bought, because I can remember my father having one when I was a kid. So there you go. Who would have thought that you can get a large steam locomotive like that going around a little first radius loop? So really there's no limit to what you can run if you want to, and that's a nice fabulous looking loco running through. So the more observant of you will notice a couple of changes on the layout. I've changed the rock face at the back for another hill, and I've got rather a nice super quick police station that's going to be adapted to provide the mainline station. So here we have another loco. This is a large class 47 loco with 3 long intercity coaches. So here we have another large diesel, class 47, and 3 intercity coaches. And again, that's going around very happily, which is just as well, because we've got about 3 or 4 different class 47s. All first radius. Yes, I know the coaches are overhanging too much, blah-de-blah, but if you haven't got a lot of space and you still want to run some decent sized locos and coaches, then you just have to live with those things and check the clearances. But it still looks fantastic going through the scenery. Having a good bit of film. So there you go, 3 very large locomotives, including probably the largest steam locomotive, running quite happily on a little first radius loop. So we have a few different large locos here. So here we have a large 37, very common loco, pulling a nice rail freight train around. So that's going around the first radius quite happily. Then we have a class 25 pulling a small goods, and the 25s and 29 Bobos cope with the first radius really well. Class 55 Deltic racing round a bit, but it is an express, and that's going around first radius. And then here we have a nice little black IVAT pulling a few older coaches, and again quite a large steam loco that some people would say won't go around that sort of distance. Hi, thanks for watching the video and for the nice comments. Click on the left for a previous video in this series, click on the right for another video you might enjoy, and please don't forget to click to subscribe, like, comment, etc. Thanks again.